Hi, I'm Declan Quigley of Anamnaska Shamanism.
And I'm Eileen McCourt, spiritual author and teacher. This is our third session on Facebook here, talking about spiritual matters. And this week we're dealing with the topic, why we are here. Why we are here in physical form, and why we are here on this dense earth vibration level. As the two previous sessions, we started with clearing out the old material that no longer serves us on our spiritual journey, and we replaced that with new fertile soil. So today we've got something to clear out first of all, and something to put in. So what are we taking out today? Today we are taking out the old ideas that we are here on this earth to make as much money as we can, to collect as much material possessions as we can, and to collect as many letters after a name as we can. That's not what we're here for. We've got to get rid of that idea. So why are we here? What do we put in to replace what we've taken out there? Well, the sole reason, S-O-L-E, for us being here on this earth plane is to advance our immortal soul, S-O-U-L. We are here to relearn our wisdom, which we've forgotten, and to awaken the spirit within. Everything we do is about the soul expansion. Everything is about the soul. Everything we do we do it in order to expand our soul in some way. And Declan, you spoke last week about this soul expansion.
That's correct, Ellie. As you rightly said, we are a spirit in a body, not a body with a spirit. The spirit is the most important aspect. And our prime motivator as a soul is to expand. And we expand through experience, positive and negative. And we come down to earth school, we come into body, and we have all these experiences. And we live in quite a dysfunctional world. So whatever experience we have, positive or negative, our soul expands, and the universe expands, or God expands, depending on your view on it. And that's what we do. And then at the end of that, we come back to our soul family. We come back, we look at our contract, we look at the goals that we had set before. And did we achieve those? Or do we need to go further? And following that, we develop another contract for the next life and come into body again. It's very cyclical.
And as you say, Declan, we can't expand our soul by simply experiencing good. We've got to experience evil and the darker side of our nature. And that, the fact that this world, there's a lot of trouble in this world, a lot of negativity, that's all part of the divine plan. Because facing that negativity and facing the challenges in our own darker nature is what expands our soul. We can't all lie around like sleeping Buddhas, because it wouldn't work, the whole plan would fall apart. And we have decided in between lives what lessons we're going to learn in this life. And it's our own free choice what lessons we're going to learn. And that means, Declan, if we're going to learn certain lessons, we also choose our own parents. Isn't that right?
That's correct, Ellen.
And we decide soul contracts with other souls at soul level, the contracts they're going to make with us and fulfill through our lifetime. And there's no event or no person comes into your life that has not got a purpose. There's no such thing as chance or coincidence, it's all synchronicity. Synchronicity coming from the blueprint we have made for each of our lives before we come in here, with our other soul friends who are going to fulfill those contracts with us.
That's right, Eileen. And it's our prime motivator, as I said before, to expand. And a lot of people question why we have to deal with such hardship. And this is the most difficult thing to understand, especially as part of the divine plan as well. We have absolutely no memory of past life or any of that. But that can be brought out in other ways. But once we are here, we have to experience the negative and have to experience the positive as well, but hardships, and that is what expands our soul.
And that is necessary. We cannot go through life without experiencing hardships, because each one of us, the story of our life is the story of raising the hero within each of us. And we can only become a hero by facing the dark challenges, working our way through them, the dark night of the soul, and we can only re-emerge into the light after coming through the darkness. That's the story of each of our lives, the story of all the heroes in literature. It's all the same story. There's only one story. The story of becoming the hero in your own story.
That's right. And if you look at the work of Joseph Campbell or Carl Rogers or any of those eminent writers, they explain that fantastically. Some of them may not have the spiritual element, or they may not talk about things like the soul contract, the soul family, but they are saying the same thing, that every story is
the same.
The same. It's
one
the
story.
hero's journey.
The hero's journey. And each one of us is the hero in our own story. And as well as that, Declan, we have free will. That's sacrosanct. Nobody can interfere with our free will. But with every privilege comes a responsibility. And we're all energy. We've talked about this before. And every thought, every word we send out there carries its own vibration in energy. And what we send out, we get back. So we've got to be very, very aware of the energy we send out through our thoughts, through our words and through our actions. Because what we send out there, boomerang, it's going to come right back on us. There are no straight lines in nature. It's going to come back on us. So we have a responsibility towards ourselves and towards the rest of society to make sure our thoughts are positive going out there.
That's right, Eileen, and responsibility is absolutely huge in this.
Yeah.
For generations and generations, we've been blaming God for the difficult things in the world and for our own problems, but we're not taking personal responsibility for our own spirituality.
It's our free will that has run rampant that's causing all the problems.
That's right.
Yeah. And again, Declan, we're only responsible for our own energy. I can't change your energy, I can only change my own. And let me put it this way, if you're going out to school in the morning, the kids are in the car and somebody spilled egg down his t-shirt and somebody else can't find his tie and somebody else's homework is gone berserk, and you're all going out like that, right? Well, what are you doing? You're sending out that energy out like that, right? And all the other ups out there are going to come towards you. And you're going to arrive at school, and you know those characters, cartoon, and you see straddled against the wall and all zigzag all around them. That's what you're going to be like.
That's a great way of
if you get to school at all. Now, you can't change those other you can't interfere with them. But you sending out that energy has attracted them to you. So what do? You've got to calm down and change your own energy. And all love and light and smile and love and light. And then all the other loves and lights will come towards you. Those other they'll not be attracted to you anymore. They'll go to all the other right? And you'll arrive at school, the traffic lights will go green, you'll be let out into the traffic, you'll have a wonderful day.
That's a difficult thing to do, though, on a day-to-day basis. You know, we are in a very dysfunctional world. We are in a world that...
But we have created that.
We have created that, but it's still there, and it's hard to keep that vibration high. But that is our prime task.
Yes. Again, too, this free will you have, it's all about perception, Declan, right? If we see the glass as half full or half empty, that's up to us. And if we see the world as a dreadful, suffering, miserable place, that's what the world is going to be for us. Whereas if we see it as a beautiful, wonderful world it is, that's what we're going to get. Remember when I was teaching years ago, I used to tell the boys that, look, you know, if you're coming to school in the morning and you're going hump, I don't want to go to school, we'll prepare for history first. You know, I used to say, well, look what you've done. You've closed down all your doors and your windows. And no matter how stimulating I am in the classroom, I'm not going to get through, you're not going to soak up anything. Whereas if you come to school thinking, well, great, what we're going to do today, this is going to be a wonderful day, you have your doors and windows all opened, and everything, you're going to soak up everything. Which is better.
Absolutely.
We create our own reality.
We do. And I'm sure you were very stimulating as a teacher.
I wouldn't go that far, Declan.
But again, we all have our individual lives, we all have our individual difficulties.
We do.
And it's about getting through and past those.
Yes. Each of us has our own life plan, and you can't learn the lessons for your son. He has his own life's plan. You know, a lot of parents want their children to take on the family business or take on the career they have. That's not the right way to look at it, because your children have their own plans, their own life lessons to learn. For example, you can't learn, if your child comes home from school with a Shakespeare passage to learn, you can't learn that for him. You can help him with putting him back over it, but you can't learn it for him. And if your son wants to grow his hair down to his heels and cover himself with tattoos and get a guitar and go off around the world, that's his choice. And that's how he will learn his lessons. The same with, your sexuality, Declan, might be telling you, might be pulling you in one direction, and society is pulling you another. Well, where do you go? You go with your own intuition. If you're not happy in your own skin and living true to yourself, you're going to be in big trouble.
I think you can see divine plan working in the last few years. The rise of the LGBT movement.
Yes,
and
definitely,
all
Declan.
those,
and remember, those people have got the masculine and feminine balanced in them much more than we have got.
Absolutely.
So maybe they are the more spiritually aware ones. Very high advanced people, maybe.
I think that some of the taboos that were in our society have really damaged us.
Taboos and stigmas,
yes.
all brought in by, not by ordinary people, but by controlling institutions who label these people.
And that's what institutions do.
That's
they
what
label
institutions
people.
do in order to control us.
They group people together, they pigeonhole them, and it is not good energy. And it does not speak to our souls.
That's
our
right.
individuality.
That's right. And let's talk about this new, what I call them, breed of children coming in. Very, very, very highly spiritual. They started coming in about the 1980s, and this last couple of years they're flooding in. I'm talking about star, indigo, rainbow children. They're very, very, very special. I know every child is special, but this is a kind of a different breed. Would you call them breed coming in, Declan? And I know that you do a lot of work with them in your shamanic. I know that you go on soul retrievals for them. Tell us about that, Declan.
That's right. And well, first of all, I don't like using labels.
No.
They are special children,
yes,
and for me that's enough.
Yes.
They are of a very high vibration coming into this life, and once they are here in this dysfunctional world, they find it incredibly difficult.
They're frustrated and they can't get
so frustrated.
Yes.
So frustrated.
Their little soul doesn't want to be here, sure it doesn't.
That's right. And the concept of soul retrieval is that in the presence of trauma, a piece of your soul leaves to protect itself. And it's the role then of the shamanic practitioner to come in and retrieve that soul piece along with our guides. And for those children to have suffered the harshness of this world, it is traumatic.
It's
and
traumatic.
They lose soul pieces because of that. And they appear to the rest of society as completely dysfunctional. They've been given labels like autism, ADHD, all those very demeaning titles, pigeonholes again. And to return pieces of their soul, for me, it's a beautiful, beautiful experience and a beautiful ritual. And it certainly moves these children on.
You must get a lot of fulfillment from doing that.
It's absolutely beautiful, especially with children, innocent,
pure
children.
innocent and pure light, yes, and
it's absolutely it's a beautiful ritual. But at the end of that, they are better equipped to deal with the harshness of this world because they have got these soul pieces back.
Yes. And they're here for a special reason, to help us through the great shift that we're going through at this point in humanity.
That's right, because these children are highly, highly intuitive.
Yeah.
They hold, a lot of them don't eat meat. They're vegan, naturally. They're not drawn to meat in any way. The cruelty of this world, the violence.
Yes. And they love the earth, and they love nature, they love crystals, and they love all that. They love looking up at the stars at night, and they're much more into nature and into natural things than we are. Yes.
It's my firm belief that is where the human race is evolving to, in that we are aware of the energies around us, and we work with it as part of an ecosystem, as opposed to against it, and manipulate the people around us, and materialism and all those things.
It's all about energy, Declan, isn't it? And how what we send out there in energy comes back to us. And once we send the energy out there, we can't delete or destroy it, because energy can't be killed or can't die. But we can transmute it. Say, for example, I send out energy to you in the fact that I'm jealous of you and I'd like to do what you do, and I hit that Declan Quigley, right? What have I done there? I have sent out a heavy, cumbersome, negative energy that goes out from me and will manifest somewhere. There are no straight lines in nature. That energy turns and comes back to me, lumbering along. And either in this lifetime or in a future lifetime, that will boomerang me and I will pay karma. I will balance that. Now, in a few hours' time, I say, goodness, I shouldn't have said that about Declan. Declan's really lovely. And I send out love and light to you, and I'm sorry for what I did. Now what have I done? I've sent out a lighter, higher energy, and that is going to catch up with the heavier one I sent out before, and it's going to transmute it into the lighter energy. So I'm going to give back instead of bang, right? Now, before you ask me why does the dark, heavy energy not take over the lighter one, it's the same when you go into a dark room. How do you get rid of the dark? You don't brush it up and put it into a bag and take it away. You turn on the light switch. The darkness hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there, but you just have transmuted it temporarily while the light is on. When you turn the light off again, the darkness is still there. It's the same with energy. You can't kill it. You can't delete it once you send it out. That's where the responsibility comes in. Because once it goes out, it's karma, isn't it?
That's right, Eileen. And that was one of the biggest learning curves for me.
Yes, for all of us.
Looking at the world and looking
Yes.
as energies, and it's got those checks and balances, the karma.
It has.
And our purpose is the dharma,
Yes.
in the Hindu sense. And all these, I mean, otherwise we could go through our lives, we could murder, we could rape, we could do all,
That's right.
brutalise people around us.
Yes.
But these checks and balances come in.
And the
we
universe
do
is
get it back.
self-adjusting. It has the balances.
We do get it
Yeah.
back, yes.
Yeah. It's all about energy and being responsible for the thoughts we send out, and because those thoughts will create a reality. Isn't that right?
That's true. Manifestation.
Manifestation.
We are manifesting, and a manifestation is a prayer with the emotion attached. And with that emotion attached, that energizes the space around us and brings that thing to us. And that is the nature of manifestation.
And we draw to us what we need. And again, we have our own outcomes. We go after our own outcomes. We want this house, or we want that car, and we go after that. And despite all the signs we see that are telling us that's not for us, we still continue. Whereas the universe knows what we want, and the universe does one thing: the universe delivers. And it's doing its best to get that to us, but we're interfering and preventing that energy. It's all about energy, Declan, going out and coming back, and the universe sending us the energy, creating the energy. Everything we want is already out there. All we've got to do to manifest is to draw it to ourselves through the thoughts we send out. Isn't that right?
That's
we
right.
create our own world.
Just to summarise, what we've been talking today is why we are here. We've been talking about the fact that we are a soul in a body, and not a body with a soul. The soul is the primary aspect of us. So Eileen, what will we be doing next week?
Next week we're talking about the process that we call death, which is simply a passing on, a metamorphosing into a higher vibration level. And we're talking about that cycle of death, birth and reincarnation, we call reincarnation. That's next week's. And I hope you'll join us again next week. So until then, namaste.
Thanks for watching, and namaste.